I'm sure you think you're so cute because you take care of all those flowers. But just because an old woman like you took care of some flowers doesn't mean you're anything at all to those men. So I'd stop it with that misunderstanding.
Jennifer? I never said I thought of myself as anything just because I'm taking care of some flowers. Do you think that taking care of flowers like I am would catch the attention of men? I've never heard anything like that before from anyone.
Huh? The way you're acting like you have no idea what's going on is disgusting. So would you please stop that?
What are you talking about? I'm not trying to play dumb or anything right now. You saying something like that right now is only making me more confused is all.
This company happens to have a lot of cute men in it. So you came trying to find yourself one of them. Well, let me just say there are a lot of really good-looking men here. But there also happens to be me here as well. A far younger and more attractive woman than you. So don't forget that. Compared to me, you are like nothing. And will stay that way as long as I'm around.
I see. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I didn't join this company looking for a partner. I'm in this company because I happen to have been wanting a job for some time now and found this place to be a perfect fit for my skills. But now that you've explained things like that to me, I can tell what you're more interested in.
Now you're making it seem like I'm only in this company for the men myself. It's not my fault that I'm this pretty and can get any man here that I please. You can even ask them yourself, and they'll tell you just how pretty I am and how much they love having me around.
I see. Well, Jennifer, I'm not really the type to talk about finding men and things like that. I was wondering why earlier today you were asking me for my phone number, and this seems to have been your reason why. I had another reason in mind for why you were texting me now, but you seem to be on about something else entirely.
I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of who the boss is around this office. You happen to have a decent face for your age, and I'm sure you can talk well around any of the men here. You already look to be getting quite comfortable with a few men already. But if you're telling me you have no interest in them, then so be it. I was just worried you might use that to your advantage and start taking my men away from me.
Is that what you thought? Thank you for those compliments, I guess. But don't be worried, as I really don't have any plans of doing things like that with any of the male employees in this company. I already happen to have a partner I want to live the rest of my life with.
What's that? You're telling me you have plans to get married. Isn't that wonderful? You found yourself a man that's willing to marry you. But I'm sure he's a nobody himself, since he seems to be into older women like you.
You shouldn't say things like that. I can't quite explain everything about him to you, but I can surely say he is not a nobody. If anything, he's a very special man.
How annoying. Speaking about your partner like that makes my head hurt. Stop trying to talk to me like he's a good man or actually worth something. If anything, it's like you're trying to make him seem more attractive to me. Are you trying to make me come in and fool around with him? Oh, just kidding. I promise you that's never going to happen, because I will never touch a man you've been with.
Okay, then can we just stop talking about all of this now? I don't really want to keep wasting my time explaining my partner to you if you're just going to continue speaking about us like that. I was really hoping today that when you asked for my number, it would be in order to talk about work, or perhaps even apologize to me when you do something wrong. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when I say that. But anyway, seeing that all you want to do is still belittle over things that you shouldn't be worried about, I'm shocked.
Shut up. Oh, the way you talk to me is so freaking annoying. What is wrong with you? Acting like you're not fazed by anything I'm saying? As you can see, I'm not very happy with that, okay? You should be getting all upset right now and either begging me to stop or yelling at me.
I'm just trying to refrain from talking back to you in general is all. Honestly, you and I really don't know one another that well. So it's a bit strange for you to be talking to me in such a straightforward and rude manner. Especially after all the ridiculous stuff you did earlier. I'm not sure what to think of all this, honestly.
I see. Well then, let me finish with this. If you touch any of my men, I'm not going to hold back. Remember that for me, please. All those men in the office are for me to be around, and you will do nothing about it. Ever.
You don't have to worry about me. Like I've explained, I have myself a partner already, and we're engaged. So if that's what you wanted to warn me about, then please relax and just let me be. I'll be going now.
Hey, Marin, are you alright? I saw what happened between you and that Jennifer chick earlier. She didn't do anything else to you after that, right?
What's going on, Camilla?
I'm worried about what happened to you.
Well, nothing terrible happened to me besides that incident at my garden. I'm all dry now and in some fresh clothes.
Huh? Why are you being so calm about all of this right now? Did she end up doing anything else to you after what happened there?
Nothing else. Nothing else. But it was just strange what happened between her and I. She saw me watering the plants in my garden today and thought that she could start a fight with me or something over it. She walked over to me and told me to stop trying to act all pretty. She then took the water hose from me and sprayed me with it.
What? I thought even more things were going to happen after seeing her with you, but man, she actually took things that far, though. How could she do that? Actually, because she'd done that, you could have her fired, right? I would bring that up as soon as possible and watch her come crying to you, begging for mercy.
Well, I'm going to have a talk about that later with my fiancé. I shouldn't be quiet about something like that after all, and I don't want to get into a fight with her like she's been trying to do. But I'm going to need more than just the words from my mouth to get her fired properly.
I see. You have always been rather calm when it's come to confrontations like that. Well, anyway, how are you doing mentally?
I'm fine, of course. Yet again, I'm not going to sink down to her level any. And she wasn't going to get me to scream at her either.
Your outward appearance and the way you actually act on the inside are completely different. You look like someone that would fight hard over things, but really, you were very level-headed and calm. A little scary, actually, that you're that way. It's probably why the CEO is so into you, though. After all, the two of you are going to be getting married really soon here.
It's coming up here soon, the wedding. I never thought things would get this far between us, to be honest. I have you to thank for all of this, introducing me to both my job in the company and to the CEO himself.
It's rare that I do things like that, actually. So make sure you take me out for lunch or something as a proper way of saying thanks to me.
I can make that happen. Now, back to that Jennifer chick. Is she pretty popular with the company among all the men? Before spraying me with the hose earlier, she had asked for my number and all that. And after talking with her over text, she seemed to have a lot of confidence in getting any man she wants there.
She said that?
Yeah. It was like she was having some sort of an ego trip in front of me, talking about how pretty she is, as well as young, and that all the men like her so much and she didn't even have to do anything to get their attention. Has she always been that way with all the female employees? Bragging to them all and threatening them to stay away from her men?
You probably already know the answer to that. All the women at work hate her because of how she acts. She never gets any of her work done while there, instead using all their time to go talk to men and flirt around. And the way her character changes when she's in front of men and when she's in front of women is amazing.
So that's the kind of person she is then. She was really telling me earlier to stay away from all the men and stop going after them. saying I only joined the company to get closer to men and to find a partner there. She even made it very clear that she's the boss of the office when it comes to those things.
She is such a crazy woman. She acts all tough in front of you, but when she's around the men that she wants to attract, she'll play all helpless and innocent.
Oh? So that's what she does. That's kind of what it looked like while I was at work with her.
Honestly, she is so crazy, Marin. She goes out with so many of the men at work and will leave them only weeks after they start to date. And what's even more wild is she flirts and messes around with the men who are already married as well. At least that's what I've heard. I'd really love for her to just drop dead one of these days.
Wow. It's rare for you to ever say things like that about people. Don't tell me you've fallen victim to her once as well.
Did I give that away? Well, here's the deal. For the longest time, there was this coworker that I was really into. But as a way of hurting me, she went out with that guy and slept with him. It was my fault for never really knowing her true intentions at the time, but I should have never said anything to Jennifer at the time about him. But I accidentally said that I had a crush on him.
What? Are you telling me that because you said you were into that coworker of yours, it kickstarted Jennifer going and sleeping with him?
Yes, that's what happened. She was young at that time and very cute. Do you want to know what she said to me after all that happened? She told me that she wasn't really that into him anyway, and she never meant to sleep with him. She then said it was him that fell for her, and things just happened from there. And finished by saying she was sorry in a very carefree tone before walking away from me.
Dang. What a freaking excuse she had for that. Just to try and make it look as though it weren't her fault, she pinned the blame on that coworker. Honestly, the both of them are trash people. You would have never been happy with a man like that anyway had you started to date him. I think it's a good thing that things ended up the way they did, don't you?
Well, that's true. After seeing that happen, I lost all the feelings I had for the guy. I was shown just how poor of a guy he really was for doing that. But anyway, as you can see, Jennifer is a real charm to have in the workplace.
Yeah, she sure is entertaining. Well, if I'm ever able to catch her in the act of acting like a whore in the office, I'll make sure to show it to my fiancé and have her fired immediately.
You're really using the power that position you're in now has to offer. Scary, scary, scary.
Well, that idiot happened to hurt one of my friends as well, right? I would really like her to rot in hell for that.
Dang, you sure have that right. I'm on board with you there. Well, thank you. And I love you.
I know that. Well, I'll give this all some thought and figure out a way to get that woman gone. I won't let her fool around in this company's office with all its employees anymore.
Why is an ugly woman like you at a place like this? A part-time grandma like you should not be allowed at the CEO's wedding of all places.
I think you're completely screwed in the head, Jennifer. All that happened is you and I made eye contact with one another, and the moment you knew it was me of all people, you came up to me and poured beer all over my head. Was that really necessary?
The only one whose head is screwed here is yours. Why the hell are you here at the CEO's wedding when you're as old as you are? I hope that cold beer all over your head was enough to make you notice you're not welcomed here. See if you've come around to realizing that now. I want you out of here.
Is that really what you want from me?
You've been covered in beer now and are all smelly and sticky. Oh, get the hell out of here.
Sure, I guess I will then.
Answer your dang phone, please. What are you doing right now?
What is it, Jennifer? I was ordered by you to go home, so that's what I'm doing. I was drenched in beer, so I didn't want to stay around there anyway.
Well, I never knew that you were the bride of all people at the wedding. I am so sorry about that. Hurry up and come back to this wedding right now, please.
What? I'm not going back there. I won't go back to a wedding where you're still present. You've spoiled my mood now as well.
Oh, please don't say something like that, Marin. Right now there is a major panic going on amongst everyone. If you don't come back here, people are going to start to blame me for what's happened. But at the time, I didn't think something like this could happen.
And that means? What do you mean by everyone will start to blame you soon? You can't say something like that when all of this is in fact all your fault, correct?
But I seriously didn't know that you were the bride at this wedding. I mean, who would think you were the bride? The person who's a part-timer at the office and is watering the flowers at the wedding? How the hell does that make anyone believe that you'd be the bride? How did you even end up with the CEO?
Calm down, Jennifer. Can't you tell right now that you're being a real pain in the butt saying such rude things to me? I was just watering the plants and flowers there because that's what I like to do. I find gardening to be one of the most fun and enjoyable jobs out there, and the garden around the company itself is another place that I enjoy caring for.
But why would he choose you of all people? I've been wanting to marry the CEO for a long time.
The type of woman that you are is the type the CEO happens to hate the most. He hates women that think it's okay to put others down in order to make themselves look better. The kind that don't think of the harm they cause others when doing things for their own selfish desires. The CEO has been told a lot of things about you, and in his head he has a clear understanding of what kind of a monster you are.
Excuse me? What is this? You think you can talk down to me now because you happen to land yourself the CEO out of luck? Get off that high horse, jerk!
Whoa, is it really okay for you to talk to me like that right now? Like I said, the CEO is very aware of the kind of monster you are, and he understands the situation you've created already. I'm going to show him all the messages you're sending me now later on, so I'd be careful what you're saying to me. But if you want to keep acting like a witch, then please, keep it coming.
What? You can't do something like that to me! Oh, please just forgive me for what I did today and let's sweep the rest of this under the rug. Had I known that you were the bride, I never would have attacked you like that.
The problem here isn't the fact that you did this to someone who's the bride, but the fact that you did this to someone at all. I really don't think it's okay for a person that thinks the way you do to be left working in the company. So I'm going to mention all of this to the CEO and have him decide what to do with you.
Please, just hold on for 2 seconds. I really did not plan for any of this to happen here. If you just come on back here to the wedding, then everything will go back to normal. I happen to still be new to the company as well, so I didn't know any better. So would you please be able to look at what's happened here with a big heart?
Don't start pulling that kind of talk out with me. You, of all people, are not allowed to use that as an excuse anymore. You've been a part of the company for years now, so you're not new anymore. And from what a lot of people have said in the office, you're not a very good person to work with.
What? People have been saying that I'm not good to work with? But I haven't been doing anything wrong to anyone there.
By the way, I got a message regarding what happened yesterday. You were in the meeting room, and you kicked down the shelf in there and destroyed it, right?
What? No, wait, I would never do something like that. Why would you think I'd ever do something as ridiculous as that?
Well, I happen to think this is because the moment you were heading into that meeting room, the security camera caught you. I was a bit curious myself at the time if you'd really been the one to destroy that shelf or not, so I went and had a look at the recordings. Lo and behold, it was you.
Huh? You went and looked into what happened. I made sure to tell everyone in the office that the shelf was broken when I went in there, and everyone agreed with me that that was the case. In other words, nobody was going to be blamed for it.
And that seems to have been your plan. You seemed to act all calm and innocent in front of a lot of men in the office, and you were trying to use that to your benefit. But you going around saying that you didn't break that shelf, a lot of them trusted you without ever second-guessing you, because why would they? You have painted yourself in their minds to be this harmless little woman.
I never did that. Because I wasn't the one who broke that shelf.
Well, we have you on camera. It was you that entered that break room after all meetings had ended for the day. And I've already gone and checked with everyone who was at the meetings, and they all told me that when they left the meeting room, the shelf was intact.
What? You went around asking those people as well?
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure I was 100% correct before accusing you. All those that I asked were recorded by the camera as well, so I'm pretty sure I went and talked to everyone that used the room that day. Some of the people I asked said you probably didn't break the shelf yourself because you rarely go in there.
That's right. They are right about me rarely going into that room.
But in the video, you walked in there alone and with nothing in your hands. No papers, no bag, no laptop. And when you walked out of there, you looked refreshed. That's pretty suspicious to me, Jennifer.
You're going to suspect me over something as small as that? How the hell is this happening right now?
Listen, I have people that witnessed what you did in person. 2 people to be exact.
And? Just because those people saw me walking into that meeting room, you're going to tell me that I'm to blame for that broken shelf.
You had plans to meet with one of the male employees in that meeting room, right?
What? Why would you think that?
This last time you went in there to meet with an employee who already happens to be married. I'm not sure what you were planning to do with him in there, but from what I'm aware of, this kind of thing happens a lot.
Well, it was about work. I was wanting to go in there and tell them something that had to do with work.
But you went in there carrying nothing on you. No documents, no laptops. If you had something to tell him about work, why couldn't you have just done that at his desk? The only thing I remember seeing on you as you walked in was your smartphone.
And I was planning to show him something on the phone.
Your excuses are starting to really fall apart here. I know what was going on then. You have been having relations with the man you met with, even though he's married, right?
Not at all.
His wife had suspected there was something going on with her husband at work, so she was waiting for him that day at the office. She went and stopped him before he was going to move into the meeting room with you, and that's why he never came. Those 2 are the people that knew about you being in the meeting room then.
What? So that's what happened.
After hearing that the CEO would be getting married, you threw a fit and asked the male employee you've been having relations with to meet you in the meeting room. From what I've been told is you wanted to take out your rage by doing private actions with him in the meeting room. But because he never showed up around the time you asked him to, you started to get even more enraged and took that anger out on the shelf. Now, that is just what I assume happened that day, but I'm sure I'm correct, right?
Well, but I didn't do it on purpose.
The fact that you didn't do it on purpose, yet you got so upset that you couldn't control yourself, that's even more scary. Well, now that we both understand what happened yesterday, I'll move on to what'll happen next. We were able to get all of the proof we need of you and that male employee having relations, and with that, you'll have to pay his wife a settlement. Good luck with that.
What? A settlement? Why do I have to pay for something like that?
Well, you went and had an affair with a married man in the office. Don't you think that's worthy of you paying a settlement now? You went and did something rather scandalous, Jennifer. Also, there will be an investigation done on you within the company, so please be ready for that.
What? Am I going to be fired?
I think so. Not only were you making a lot of the male employees do your work for you, but you went and destroyed a shelf in the meeting room. And the fact that you were having relations with a married man within the office is just gross. We might even have to take you to court for destroying company property if you'd like. So what'll it be?
Wait, please. Please do not take me to court over that. I didn't think all these things would pile up on and turn against me. So, I'm so sorry.
In this world, there are a lot of things that can't be resolved with just a simple apology. After getting this company and a lot of people have nothing to do with you involved in your antics, you've proven to us that you are not worth keeping around. So because of that, I kindly ask you to leave. And when it comes to what you can do for me personally as an apology, I would like you to rot in hell. After that, everything else Jennifer had done, she was removed from the wedding and would later be fired from the company. A lot of the women in the company really hated Jennifer a lot, so when they all found out that she'd been fired and would no longer return, they all had bright smiles on their faces. Jennifer has been trying too hard to find herself a new job, now that she's faced with paying off a settlement and paying for the shelf she destroyed, but she has had no luck anywhere. This is what happens to those that think they are better than everyone else in the office and act like they're in charge because of that. Hopefully, she's learned her lesson now about being a real jerk and whore while at work, and if she does find another job, she won't be trying things like that anymore. As for the married employee she'd been having an affair with at work, he later confessed to all the things he had done there with Jennifer. From things like going in the neutral gender bathroom together to have sex, to sending one another nudes using their work phones. It was all really disgusting to learn. But not too long after Jennifer had been fired, he would quit his job as well, since most of the men he had been working with no longer wanted to talk to him after what they learned. But I think the main reason for him leaving had to do with his wife giving him an ultimatum when it came to their marriage. He could either continue working in the company, but they'd get a divorce and she'd take full custody of their kids. Or he could quit his job there and find a new job working in a field where not many women are seen working, like construction. So after seeing him quit, I guess we learned that he valued his marriage more than his job there. When it comes to my wedding, it ended up being canceled by my fiancé due to me having gone home. Luckily though, he was able to take a spot in the wedding hall schedule the following week, and we had our wedding there when it went perfectly. Now that I'm the wife of the CEO, I technically shouldn't be working for the company anymore. However, I want to at least get another year of work out of my time here before I get another job, or perhaps just focus on my gardening full time.